Hello, welcome to my Sunday Front. Today I have an update. Tomorrow will be another one. Maybe I'll come back on tomorrow and speak on it a little bit more, just to touch base and see where we're at. If we're headed in another direction on this case. This is New York City love triangle, or New York love triangle. It was Long Island. Um, I believe in Amityville. Amityville suspects were arrested today. Um, as the court furthers the case of the deaths of Malcolm Brown and Donna Connolly. Um, so this was an old case where um, it's kind of it was kind of like a media frenzy, and they were a couple and lived together, but there was there was an entanglement outside of that relationship, and all this was an ongoing thing. So they kind of were like a private couple, and only their close people knew that they were together, even though they lived together. But they do have a kind of like a background, so the police automatically assumed at first that they died in a gang dispute. So Alexis Nieves and Jeffrey Mackey were seen in court today. The couple was found to be triable for the atrocities found in Babylon's Bethpage State Park. Um, Tuesday, tomorrow, will tell the tale of what quickly went from cookout to all-out murder when the love triangle were brought together that day by food and good company, apparently. This intrafamiliar connection was so twisted they actually have been stumped in court today, reportedly, as facts presented and communicated by the perpetrators themselves continue to divulge their dirty dealings they had with one of their cousins and love affair. So this is a case that continues to stump the prosecutors and the entire the entire courtroom. Um, they continue just kind of feeling bombarded by the testimonies that are given by the suspects. You know, um, so what's to say about what actually happened to the victims is you know continually being baffled. They really have so many various stories, but they do think, um, you know, that these two individuals that died tragically, they died at the hands of people they trusted. They died spontaneously almost. It was like almost like an impulse decision that was made against their lives, and of course it, it was gory. So tomorrow's hearings, Stephen Brown, Malcolm Brown's cousin, will be heard allegedly Tuesday, along with his current companion Amanda Wallace as well. So these are two couples, and like I said, there was a entanglement between all of them. So it's slowly unfolding, because this court kind of got off at a rocky start as far as the proceedings going smoothly. It did not. As far as the evidence presented being very hard, it was not, because they were not intact, you know. So there was, very little to go on. The only thing that they knew were the names of the people, and when they got to the house, they arrested them immediately. Um, so as Jeffrey Mackey, Amanda Wallace, and Alexis Nieves sit in court, ironically, will sit in jail. Ironically, the biological cousin turned killer of a victim is still free. Amanda Wallace jailed on petty theft charge for possession for press-on nails and lashes from CVS. Sorry, she was charged earlier with petty theft because she stole press-ons and eyelashes from CVS um, for no reason. Again, impulsive. Um, but it's kind of weird that somebody that cold-blooded is the only one that's free right now. And so it's kind of telling also that she was charged twice, and continued, her, what everybody thought was inevitable in her criminal ways. The couple who lost their lives in that home were close to the attackers, invited over as if it were a normal day, when the drama was casually let out the bag and unleashed to an ever-growing, intensifying, dense air. The front door was opened as if it were just one more embrace welcomed into the home, in which they were all at one time intermingled, dated each other, and not yet forgotten of the endearment felt. Donna Connolly falls to the floor, Alexis Nieves standing over her, quickly switches gear, taking up a blade. The same tools that were processing their planned future meals were soon stuck into the back and neck of the female victim. So these are just things that were divulged by the suspects themselves. And like I said, it continues to stump the the professionals in the room that are used to piecing together these types of cases. As heinous as they are, they can continue, and they will. I have complete trust right now that these people will get what they deserve. But as I have made my own batch of scenarios, a, a lot of people have pieced together kind of one solid narrative, so I will go over that too. Malcolm Brown was also stabbed by who he trusted, even roomed with. They were dismembered, scattered around Long Island, were buried in shallow graves. Their entire cadavers never to be found. Missing pieces of their bodies are still not dug up from unknown crime scenes, although the authorities still look out for them, and they still do. They still have that case to investigate, even though they're in court. Like I said, they have to piece it together and try to make sense of it, even though it's a senseless act. So here is the original dialogue given to us, as we sit here at home and watch, and listen to the press and all that. So the story began in February when a serial killer was on the prowl. The body parts found by school children led to the arrest of the 4 suspects, who have recent priors now. Bill reform was demanded as Hochul, the New York governor, and Long Island District Attorney Tierney locked horns over slandering local PD with the blame for weak ruling on bail, leaving them free to strike again. Almost a promise, given the atmosphere in which they gleefully played and lived in the said crime scene like pigs in mud. And they did. They did. February 20th, the alleged murderer Mackey also took part in a convenience store robbery, an armed robbery, using the exact same butcher knife he used in the slaughters. He was not alone in the crime. It is alleged that he, Brown, and Connolly all took part in the crime, leading to a blowout on February 27th, alleged day of the attacks. The three argued at the door, and Mackey knifed Brown as Connolly quickly intervened, sustaining multiple injuries. Brown, unable to fight back, defend his girlfriend, or possibly lifeless. Mackey turns on Connolly too, taking his frustration and attempting her life, stabbing her, strangling her. She continued to endure, handing her over to Nieves, who stuck a cleaver in the back and neck. Then, when the impact of the meat tenderizer falling onto her head didn't stop the victim, she began to beat her, kicking her. The two were said to have been beaten and sustained stab wounds, causing their loss of life. The bodies were taken to the restroom, dismembered in effort to conceal evidence. Then they took several days to locate various locations they disposed of the body parts. Charges tomorrow for Wallace and Brown, the cousin, will be enhanced, and June 3rd will be another hearing for Nieves and Mackey. Mackey will have another hearing for robbery. So far, Mackey and Nieves are charged with second-degree murder. And that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed my video and continue watching my videos. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, guys. And I'll see you guys again soon on my Sunday from. Bye-bye.